What's up, this is Straw Hat Conqueror, bringing you a One Piece Top 10. This is the top 10 power-ups the Straw Hats should get, either at Wano or in a later arc. The goal of this video is to make each Straw Hat as OP as possible, so don't be surprised at the power scaling. At number 10 we got Jinbei. The reason he's at number 10 is because he might be dead for all we know. Even though I'm pretty sure he's alive, he could still be injured, which would take him out of most fights. But if he isn't, there's some cool techniques he could have, such as combining his fishman karate with haki. The only time we see him use armament haki is to defend himself from Big Mom's attack. But just imagine him adding armament haki to his punches, or Goken to his ranged attacks. This could put him at commander level or higher, but I think there's something else he could do, that being controlling the sea. This will open the gateway for many flashy water-based attacks. He already has some attacks like this, but not to the scale I'm talking about. I'm talking about generating straight tidal waves and cyclones. He would have to be near water to do this, but the devastation would be crazy. At number 9 we got Chopper. He hasn't been getting much attention lately, so a power up for him would be nice. The first thing I thought of was him awakening his devil fruit, making his forms bigger, faster, and stronger without the use of a rumble ball. I think this should make every transformation the size of Monster Point. Or you could see this as him being able to transform while in Monster Point. Another power up he could get is going straight human. We see other zones going full transformation, so why not Chopper? I think it has something to do with his self-confidence, but once he gets past that, I think it's possible. I think this transformation could go one of two ways, or maybe both. Those being him getting really smart or really buff. I personally like the idea of him combining both of them. He could be that one character that uses well thought out multi-stage plans that work due to the power of anime logic. The last power I thought of for Chopper is him overdosing on rumble balls. He could turn into an even more dangerous monster than his Monster Point form. I personally don't like this one, cause it would have some serious side effects, and he wouldn't be able to use it regularly. At number 8 we got God Usopp, and believe it or not, I got some power-ups that can make him top tier. The first being an upgrade to his observation haki. He already pretty much has wall hacks, but what if he could see trajectory? He could use the old behind you trick, or pull off some cool trick shots. He could also dodge other people's bullets with ease, making him a great duelist. And maybe he'll even be able to shoot bullets mid-air. He might even pull a Luffy and be like, the more my bullets change directions, the faster and the more powerful it gets. Okay, so this next power is when Usopp really becomes God tier. That being using Sea Stone ammo. We know that the craftsmen in Wano are able to refine Sea Stone to a small size. And Usopp is definitely not below using this on overconfident Devil Fruit users. This combined with his already top class accuracy could defeat many powerful enemies. The next power up is a firearm. I don't think Usopp will ever use one of these, but if the Straw Hats ever get serious for like revenge or something, it's only right for him to take one. The final power up for Usopp is a close range attack. If somebody gets too close for him to fire, he's pretty much useless, but that could change. Let's say Usopp uses his Kabuto as a man catcher, then fires point blank. That would be deadly. At number 7 we got Franky, the cyborg of the crew. The first power up I thought of for Franky was weaponry upgrade. He could combine Vegapunk's technology with the materials at Wano to turn himself into a little war machine. An upgrade he could combine with this is bat protection, since that's like his only weak spot. The last power up for himself is a Cola Overdrive. He could fill himself with cola, temporarily increasing his speed and power. The final upgrade is for the Franky Shogun. He could add or change the channels to give it new weaponry and abilities. At number 6 we got Robin, who can get plenty of Devil Fruit power-ups. The first power-up is an upgrade to the abilities she already has. One of those being the ability to turn into a giant. We've seen her make giant limbs. That combined with her clone ability could produce a giant Robin. She could also increase the amount of clones she can make to make a clone army, or give herself better flight with her wing ability. Her next power up is an awakening. I'ma follow other Paramecias and give her the ability to change the things around her. You might say she can pretty much already do that, but instead of sprouting herself out of objects, the objects will become her limbs. This could greatly decrease the strain on her since she's using objects that's already there instead of sprouting them herself. This is what might allow her to use the upgrades I listed earlier. And number 5 is the Skeleton Brook. The first power up is an upgrade to his hypnosis technique. Instead of just being able to control the enemy, he could turn them into his minion. This could give him an army of fodder in a tough situation. The next power-up is upgrade to his sword techniques. Instead of using the blood freezing wind of the underworld, he'll use the flames of the underworld. This will allow him to both freeze and burn his enemies. The next power-up is the ability to possess things. He can take his soul out of his body, but can he put it into other things? If he can, he could fight people without causing damage to his actual body. He could also possess Luffy and bring back a form of Nightmare Luffy that's even more powerful. Another thing he could do is absorb other souls to make his soul stronger. The final power for Brook is a Devil Fruit Awakening. This could allow him to spread his soul to the things around him, making it seem as if the whole area is possessed. At number 4 is Nami, and I probably gave her the most OP powers in this whole video. But you never know, it could happen. The first is Zeus. Some people speculate she'll be able to ride Zeus, but I took it a step further. I think she'll wear Zeus as armor. I say this because riding Zeus doesn't change the fact that she can pretty much get one shot by anybody. So using Zeus as armor will give her both a great defense and the ability of flight, allowing her to easily evade attacks. This will also allow her to take advantage of her massive attack range, using her weather attached and extendable pole. I don't know if this is overdoing it, but I'm thinking of Zeus using armament haki too. Her next power-up is to completely control the weather. She already has a cloud, so what else does she need to gain this ability? I guess you could throw in some observation haki too. At number 3 is Vismode Sanji. He recently just got a power up being his raid suit, but I think there's more to it. It's being modified by Frankie and Usopp. I don't think they'll just change the design, but also increase the speed, mobility, and power. He could also learn some type of haki consummate from the Shinobi, which combined with his invisibility could completely eliminate his presence. Another power up for Sanji is him pulling out some Kempo techniques he learned from Kamabaka King. He probably won't like it, but it will definitely be a buff. Next is the armament haki upgrade. Even though he can use it, he's not the best with it. This is seen in his fight with Virgo. I think all these powers will greatly increase the strength for Sanji's Diablo Janbei, and if he learns Goken, it could even become a ranged attack. Number 2 is Zoro, one of the coolest swordsmen in all of fiction. The first upgrade for Zoro is reaching the 3rd level of armament. We know he can use the 2nd level since he coats his blades in armament, and those blasts from his swords might actually be a form of Goken. Even if these techniques are just air pressure, Goken could be used to amplify the power. Anyways, the 3rd level armament haki will make all of Zoro's techniques stronger, being able to destroy things from the inside. He might even make a giant blade of haki and fire a Gesuga Tensho. Alright, I'm playing. The next power up is Zoro accessing more demon forms such as Ashura. A cool way they could explain this is Ashura being a combination of both armament and observation haki. It could be armament to coat the body, and observation to manifest it into what you want and make it visible. If this is true, Zoro could go Mary Jane from Fairy Tail and turn to any demon he wants, except like 10 times cooler. The next power up is Zoro's blades turning black. I'm sure this will happen eventually, it's just a matter of when. This will make his swords and his techniques more powerful. The final power up for Zoro is him opening his eye. I personally don't think this will happen, but if he does, I'm pretty sure it'll be something demonic. Before we get to number 1, we have an honorable mention, that being Carrot. The reason she's in this video is because many people speculate she'll eventually join the Straw Hats. The first power up for Carrot is an artificial moon. I got this idea from Dragon Ball Z, but it could work since Mix can use Electro. The next power up is more control of her Shulon form. This will make it more powerful and allow her to be in the form for a longer period of time. Her next power up is learning armament. I think of all the characters that don't have it, she has the best chance of learning it. The final power up for Carrot is an upgrade to her Shulon form that allows her to coat her entire body in Electro, making her faster and stronger. It will also give her a defense that's also an attack. As you probably expected, at number 1 is Monkey D. Luffy. The first power up for Luffy is more Gear Force transformations. The first transformation I came up with is Drill Man. This allows him to use his elasticity to vibrate his arms real fast and use a technique similar to the Hosoken. This will increase his damage and precision and allow him to create giant shockwaves. The next 4th gear transformation is Flame Man. This allows him to coat his entire body with fire. He would do this by combining 2nd and 4th gear, making this his fastest form. The fire would just be a byproduct. The next power up is him mastering the 3rd level of haki. Once he does this, I'm pretty sure he'll get a 5th gear. He'll probably also be able to transition between 4th gear forms with ease and use it for extended time. His next power up is effectively combining gear 2nd and gear 3rd. This will allow him to use an arsenal of fast and powerful attacks. The next power up is Goken. This is both a defensive and offensive technique. It will allow him to pretty much fire a Ki Blast at will. And if he takes it to the 3rd level, it could really turn to Dragon Ball Z. He could also get an upgrade for his Conquerors and Observation Haki too. The final power up for Luffy is an Awakening, which will probably allow him to turn his surroundings into rubber. He could make rubbery fists pop up around him to decimate whoever he's fighting. Well, that was the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like and subscribe for more content.